The Slayton sisters, Tammy and Amy, have taken viewers on a roller coaster of emotions since 1000. LB SISTRR premiered on TLC. From emotional breakthroughs to stubborn resistance, their raw, unfiltered sibling dynamic is at the heart of what keeps fans glued to their screens. But what often sets the tone for each season is not just their progress or setbacks in weight loss, it's their fights. Whether explosive or passive-aggressive, these confrontations highlight the deep-rooted complexities in their relationship. Here are 6 of the most unforgettable fights that not only defined pivotal moments on the show, but also painted a clearer picture of the emotional and psychological weight each sister carries. 1. Tammy vs. Amy, the infamous fast food fight, Season 1. It was one of the earliest and most jarring fights that revealed how deep the food addiction ran and how emotionally fraught their journey would be. After a particularly frustrating weigh-in, Amy expressed her disappointment with Tammy's lack of commitment. But things escalated when Amy brought up Tammy's continued fast food cravings and secret eating habits. Tammy, already defensive and battling her own denial, snapped. "You don't know what I go through every day," she yelled, her voice cracking under the weight of guilt and frustration. Amy, equally emotional, shot back, "You can't keep blaming everybody else." The argument wasn't just about fast food. It was a moment where two people, both deeply hurting, collided in an emotional explosion. Amy was desperate to pull her sister out of a cycle she was finally trying to escape, while Tammy felt attacked and misunderstood. It set the tone for many of their future confrontations, love wrapped in desperation and pain. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tammy vs. Chris, You Can't Force Me. Season 2. Chris, the Slayton siblings' half-brother, quickly became a fan favorite for his no-nonsense approach and genuine concern. He joined the show in Season 2 to support both sisters, especially Tammy, who was struggling more than ever. But his support turned into stern confrontation when Tammy began to backslide and resist medical advice. During one heated moment, Chris confronted Tammy after yet another doctor's appointment where she failed to meet her weight goals. "You're killing yourself," he told her bluntly. Tammy's response was a mix of fury and heartbreak. "You can't force me to change. This is my life." Their fight was intense, but unlike her fights with Amy, there was a different tone. Tammy seemed both defiant and deeply hurt. Chris wasn't scolding, he was pleading. Yet, the friction exposed Tammy's internal struggle between autonomy and accountability. It was a turning point that showed how the family's dynamic had to shift from enabling to intervention. 3. Amy vs. Tammy, I'm Not Your Maid. Season 3. Season 3 showed a major turning point for Amy. She had undergone weight loss surgery, gotten married, and given birth to her son, Gage. While her life was changing, Tammy's remained stagnant, and her dependence on Amy only grew. The fight came to a head when Amy, exhausted from motherhood and her own recovery, confronted Tammy about her expectations. "I can't do everything for you anymore," Amy told her. Tammy's reaction? "Then don't bother coming around." That emotional blow exposed years of built-up resentment. Amy had always taken on a caregiver role, even sacrificing her own needs. Now she needed boundaries. Tammy, meanwhile, interpreted the shift as abandonment. The fight illuminated the silent contract they had shared for years, one Amy could no longer uphold. This was more than a sibling spat. It was a declaration of independence and a cry for help, all in one. And though the hurt lingered, it was a necessary rupture in their codependent relationship. 4. Tammy vs. Misty, the Intervention Blow-Up, Season 4. In one of the show's rawest and most difficult episodes, Tammy's other sister, Misty, staged an intervention. Concerned that Tammy's health was in a rapid decline, Misty and the rest of the family confronted her at home. Instead of gratitude, Tammy responded with fury. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You think ganging up on me is gonna fix things? Tammy shouted. I don't need a babysitter. The room was thick with emotion. Misty, calm but clearly heartbroken, said, "You do need help, Tammy. You're dying, and we love you too much to watch it happen." Tammy stormed out, slamming doors and unleashing a tirade that shocked even longtime fans. The fight wasn't just loud, it was agonizing. It showed the limits of tough love and the deep emotional walls Tammy had built to protect herself from shame. Though the confrontation initially drove a wedge, it eventually pushed Tammy toward real change. This fight, ugly and heartbreaking, was the last straw for many family members, and it was a wake-up call for Tammy. 5. Amy versus Michael, You're Not Helping. Season 4. Though not a sibling fight, this conflict between Amy and her then-husband, Michael, revealed how the pressures of Tammy's condition and new motherhood were affecting Amy's mental health. While juggling care for Tammy and raising 2 kids, Amy began to feel Michael wasn't pulling his weight. In a moment of exhaustion, Amy exploded, "I'm doing everything while you sit there. I need help." Michael, never known for his expressiveness on camera, looked stunned. The moment felt real, like the stress had cracked something in Amy that had been simmering for months. This fight added a new dimension to the show. It wasn't just about weight. It was about the emotional toll of caregiving, of codependency, and the pressure of being the strong one in the family. Amy's breakdown showed that even the most nurturing hearts can break under pressure. Shortly after, Amy and Michael would announce their separation, making this fight one of the early warning signs that things were unraveling in her marriage. 6. Tammy versus herself, The Mirror Moment, Season 5. While not a fight in the traditional sense, this inner confrontation may be the most important one of all. In Season 5, after surviving a life-threatening health crisis, Tammy finally entered a rehab facility. One emotional moment stands out. Tammy sitting in front of a mirror, looking at her reflection after a significant weight loss. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "Why did I do this to myself?" The moment wasn't staged or dramatic, it was hauntingly still. For years, fans and family alike had been shouting, pleading, intervening. But this was the moment Tammy finally confronted her own demons. The silence of that self-reflection hit harder than any shouting match. It was Tammy fighting the part of herself that had been clinging to old habits, trauma, and denial. And for the first time, it looked like she was winning. Final thoughts. The fights on 1000 LB Sisters aren't just moments of drama for reality TV. They're raw snapshots of a family navigating generational trauma, addiction, poverty, health crises, and personal growth. Each argument, breakdown, and tear-soaked confrontation is a thread in the complex tapestry of the Slayton siblings' lives. These fights have shown fans the highs and lows of unconditional love. They're not always pretty. Sometimes they're downright uncomfortable, but they are honest. And in the end, that's what makes 1000 LB Sisters resonate. It's not just a show about losing weight. It's about finding yourself, and sometimes the journey starts with a fight. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.